once upon a time, Pop, I'm going to tell Amos a story while we're
sailing.
Yeah.
And the engine isn't not going because we're using our sails.
We're using our sails. So once upon a time, there were two little boys. One was named Xavier, and the other was named Joah. And Xavier was 5 years old, almost 6. And Joah was 3 years old. And they went on a bike ride with their mommy and daddy. And they were having a fun time on their bike ride. And then all of a sudden, something happened. And their bicycles they were riding rode up into the air. And they were riding and they were riding. Their mommy and daddy were down below waving at them, and they didn't know what was happening. And so they kept going, and pretty soon, guess what happened? Their bicycles landed on top of a boat. And this was not just any boat. This boat belonged to a Huawei and a Pop-Pop. And Xavier and Joah said, "Can we stay on your boat for a while?" And the Huawei and the Pop-Pop said, "Of course, we would love to have two fine young men like yourself come to our boat." So Xavier and Joah enjoyed the boat, and they did things. They put their crab pots out, and they got to lift crab out of the sea and eat the crab that tasted so good. And they went fishing, and lo and behold, a fish bit their line, and they worked really, really hard and pulled it in and pulled it in and pulled it in, and guess what? They got a fish, enough fish for 6 nights of dinner. Asher and Joah were having so much fun, and they were sleeping so well on the boat. And then one morning they woke up and they thought, "I miss Mommy and Daddy. I bet they miss us. We better go home." But they didn't know how to go home because they got here so magically. And they were thinking and they were thinking. They got their bicycles out and they started riding on their bicycle. And lo and behold, the bicycle went up into the air. And it was just like magic. And they went, and they went, and they went. Pop, you see this boat right here. They went.
Right away.
Okay. And pretty soon, it was getting dark, and they were wondering how long it would take them to get home. And then their bikes started to slow down because their little legs were getting so tired. And guess what? They were at their house, and their mommy and their daddy came outside, and they said, "Hello, we missed you so much. We're so glad you came home." And Xavier and Joah got to tell Mommy and Daddy all about the fun they had with the Huawei and the Pop-Pop on the boat. And they wondered maybe if they could go back sometime and maybe even bring Mommy and Daddy with them. And they snuggled in their own beds that night, and they had wonderful dreams of floating on the sea with the wind in their hair and just having a wonderful time. And that's the end of this story. Do you have anything to add, Pop?
I think it was because they ate a magic peach.
They eat a magic peach? That's what made the bicycles go?
Yes. Because I just ate a magic peach. Now I think I can put the skin
We're going to try to put this vinegar out.
So I think we'll go to John's.
Okay, sure. And the arrow up there tells us which way the wind is blowing from. What you want to see, I don't know if we can see that. Way up there at the top of the map. It has to be pointing directly behind us. And then the spinnaker that looks kind of like a kite will go forward. So we hope you enjoyed this story. This story was for Amos and Asher. We love you very much.